those notifications go out. It is close enough. Remember, I always tell y'all that we're going to be live, God willing, around a particular time for the Truth Seeker podcast, Motivational Monday show, Saturday Bible study, and then our Sundays, let's just chat. So real quick, for those who don't know, every Sunday around 2 p.m. Eastern time, God willing. Remember that, God willing. Okay? Every Sunday around 2 p.m. Eastern time, we'll be up here live with our Let's Just Chat. I know y'all catch these things on the replay too. And then on Mondays, around 4 p.m. Eastern time, we have a Motivational Monday message for you all. Motivational Monday show. And then Tuesdays, around 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, the Truth Seeker podcast goes live. And then Saturdays, around 4 p.m. Eastern time, CHA's Saturday Bible study. Now, all 4 of those are also available on YouTube Music. All 4 of these that we have are part of the podcast arena. Because after all, let's face it, it is podcasting. For those who didn't know, before podcasting, before that was titled for these things, for content creation, if you will, it used to be called audio blogs. Now, what do we know about blogs? Exactly, because like CHA has a blog. Blogs basically are our testimonies, our knowledge that we're sharing, what we've been through to help you all, whatever our area of expertise is. That's what blogging is. It's been around for decades. And so I think it was I'll stand corrected, but I believe when I did the research, somewhere in the 2010, somewhere in there, 2010, 2012, something like that, it started transitioning into podcasting. So it's been around for a while. And it is what it is. Podcasting is radio broadcasting. It's just another form. And so it used to be called audio blog. I thought that was pretty interesting. It's just making an audio of a blog. And so that's a lot of what we're doing when we get up here with y'all. So while those notifications go out, let me do our usual check real quick. And again, I'm at a different spot. Similar location to a few days ago, but we're trying out different parking spots at different times of day to see where the best shade remains for us to be up here. And trying to get quieter places so you don't have so much air traffic. I mean, you still might hear the occasional aircraft, but we're scoping things out, There's places where we can go, and that's what we've been doing. We finally getting around to checking some more stuff out. All right, y'all? But we're going to talk about narcissists. There you go. All right, now I can see how this is doing. And for those who may not know that I'm fully aware, real quick, let me get the formalities out of the way. All right, I am Michelle Dickey, your host for CHA's Truth Seeker podcast, streaming on CHA's YouTube channel, Narcissism and Cognitive Dissonance, where, again, trauma healing and spiritual growth are front and center while combating radio frequencies for healthier living. So, let me give y'all an update. I know there's going to be a lot of y'all when you come on in, okay, when you come in here, you can catch this part on the replay, but I am fully aware of this, okay? And so the Lord has us taking a break, a short seasonal break from wearing chokers. And it's not because they were choking me or anything, but it's because, right, it's because there's some bruising that I had discovered. And I didn't really know how far it went, but yeah, okay, so I get it. I was like, so we want to leave as much, right, we want oxygen to be able to get, remember something about oxygen, you all. Your body doesn't need it just for breathing, okay? It also needs oxygen on the outside, too, for breathing. All right, very, very important concept. The devil and these narcissists target our oxygen, right? They're targeting our health with this radio frequency poison. That's why we are pushing back against radio frequency for healthier living. And so when I discovered that, and we were taking breaks here and there from wearing the chokers, but then it was like, let's go ahead and take an additional break. Very short season. We still got them. It's still part of our style. Yeah, they ain't going nowhere. Okay, but just to let y'all know, we're taking a break from wearing chokers right now, so that more healing can take place. So I was trying to figure out why that was getting so hot under there all the time. Guess what? We had a ping pong thing going on, because for those who may not know, the Jezebel case study with her physical assault, a lot of the bruising didn't show up till about a year after. Yeah, I didn't realize. Yeah, there's a lot of things in there I did not know that bruises were there, and so. Right, there's a place on my belly area that where it's located, and I'm tracing the nerves, right, it's connected to that. And I said, oh, I see what she was trying to do. Okay, not only, trying to disfigure me, but I said she was trying to, cause my Adam's apple or something to look like a man. And I said, people are not stupid. I said, those of y'all who have been with me, you know, okay? But that's what she was trying to do. She was trying to cause my Adam's apple. Right, because there's that narrative in the rabbit hole about all these actresses who are actually men. Yeah, use your discernment, okay? But you got to remember something else, too, that when a body organ or a body area is deprived of oxygen and the heat is turned up, it's gonna swell. Duh, it's called inflammation. So what was happening, though, is every time, it took me a little while, because I was like, this typically does not become as noticeable unless I'm sitting down. And I said, that's very intriguing. Well, the reason being is because the bruises that were around my abdomen area that I didn't know about, okay, until recently, I said, oh, gosh, because heat rises, right? Because it took me a little bit to figure out. I was like, well, how is that getting like that after I sit for a little while? But not when I'm walking or standing or doing anything else, right? Well, that's because the bruises there, holding on to that salt, holding on to the heat, it was rising, right? Because circulation gets slowed down when you sit down sometimes, especially for a long period of time. And so where she tightened the bra straps up here, yeah, it was affecting, now you see where I'm going. Okay, so I was like, oh, I see, because I can feel it. Oh, yeah, I can feel it when radio frequency, like I just went to have lunch. This is why I bring it to y'all. This is why it's our movement to combat this radio frequency for healthier living. Now, mind you, I got bruises that are healing. Without these bruises, that radio frequency would not have the effects on me that it has. And so we mitigate it by knowing when zap day is and what to avoid and things like that, and manage our sodium intake. Okay? And so, right, and I just went into lunch, and so I'm listening to my body and how it's responding to things. And so, and how quickly the circulation returns to a certain area. Because see, there's that little bit of bruising right there, just a little bit. And as soon as I got out of the restaurant and coming back to the car, got into the outside air, that's right, started to return to that spot. I could feel it. And so it takes about, as you learn on the Patreon channel, I break it down for y'all. Okay, I break it down for y'all. That you will learn on the Patreon channel a lot more about all of this. Because there's 9-minute cycles. It takes 30 minutes per 9-minute exposure for circulation to return. So how can I tell you all this? because I am the guinea pig. All right, so narcissists are spoiled brats. Okay, narcissists are spoiled brats. And you could tell it in their demeanor, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Thank y'all for hitting the thumbs up. Yep, thank y'all for hitting the thumbs up. Our fellow spiritual warriors for Christ need these messages as well. And yes, I can feel where circulation, let me look at the time, about 30, 40 minutes now after being out of the restaurant. So I'm feeling it in certain areas where circulation is returning. Glory be to God. Now, narcissists are spoiled brats because we live in a narcissistic matrix. When you pay attention to things out here, all right, we talked a little bit about why narcissists have children. There's a lot of reasons. Tax benefits, you name it, okay? And then, right, because society tells them they're supposed to, for one. And then you also got to remember that another big reason why, okay, a big reason why narcissists have children is because pay attention to these restaurants and other organizations that give these children special treatment. Right? A narcissist will have a child. Seriously, this is how they think. They'll have a child because there's a restaurant down the way that offers free meal for kids from such time to such a time. For example, the restaurant that I ate lunch at offers Monday through Thursday kids, okay, of course under a certain age, but typically I think it depends on the restaurant. I mean, some will have 12 and under, some will have 9 and under, 3 and under. I mean, it just depends. 5 and under. It just depends on the organization. But a lot of them will offer free meals for kids from such a time to such a time. So a narcissist will have a kid so they can go out to eat and the kid eats for free. Nothing wrong with that, but you got to think about what a narcissist, I mean, they're spoiled brat syndrome talking. Because they'll go around, they want to get their moochers, so they want as much as they can get for free. Yeah, like the monitoring spirit to pop in to these live streams, but don't support the ministry in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, God sees you. I see you. That's right. You don't hit the thumbs up. You don't nothing. You're just sitting here monitoring. Right? You want to see how we do and how we healing and stuff. You want to see what's up. You want to see if you got any competition. Yeah, I'm talking to the monitoring spirits for a moment. Because we see you. God sees you. And yeah, you reap what you sow. And so if you're sitting there getting frustrated because we keep showing up and we keep healing, well, you're doing it to yourself. Because you don't have to be checking in. But because you can't help yourself. You ain't got a life of your own. You got to monitor what Consulting for Heightened Awareness is up to. Well, we see you. We see you. And God sees you. So, you can take your spoiled brat syndrome elsewhere. That's right. I rebuke in the name of Jesus. Because that's where it starts. It's in childhood. Think about the child, the golden child, right? Yeah. If you, listen, a narcissist that had children, if they've got an only child, that only child could be a golden child. Not always, but could be. And many of them that I've run into happen to turn into Jezebels. Like the Jezebel case study. Okay, as far as I know, she was the only child. That's what she told me. And she was a golden child. So, that being said, well, yeah, she tried to claim she wasn't. Remember, y'all, Jezebel's out here trying to pretend to be the chosen one. Okay? You got to watch out for that. Use that discernment. Use that discernment. All right? Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. But narcissists are spoiled brats. They want whatever they can get for free. They feel entitled. Think about all those subliminal messages. Think about all those subliminal messages out there. Call to see if you qualify for the benefits you deserve. Call so you get the benefits you are entitled to. You know, I've talked about this before, but there was a church where I used to live, and they had it on their marquee for a while, and I was very happy to see that because they put entitled to ? I went, that's it. Because that entitlement mindset is a high-mindedness. It's thinking more highly of themselves than they ought to. But we live in a narcissistic society that promotes that. So, like, whatever position, status, or title somebody has, they get special privileges or a special treatment because of that position, status, or title. So, go figure that narcissists are spoiled brats. I mean, how would they not? Over time. Think about what that does. Over time. Being told constantly that because you hold this position or this title or this status in society that you deserve or you're entitled to this special privilege or that's attached. That breeds narcissism. That promotes narcissism. That promotes that entitlement mindset. So naturally, you're going to have a spoiled brat. You know, we used to think that a spoiled brat was only for actual kids that acted out if they didn't get their way. That's what we used to think. Well, you know what? And that's true. But now we know they're narcissists. But when you see a grown adult doing it, wow, right? But then you have to think about the bribery aspect of narcissistic society. Or shall we say the narcissistic matrix is full of bribery. So bribery will also lead to that entitlement mindset. Because they keep bribing their way into things to get their way. It's crazy. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When they say they're going to give you some money if you go and you get this done or you get that done. They'll give you some money. A lot of narcissists do that because they're money hungry. They're a spoiled brat. And you have to be careful of that. Because God is very clear about bribery. Hello. Hello, hello. Welcome, fellow warriors. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up. I know you okay, if you haven't caught it, if you haven't caught it in the beginning, I was letting y'all know we're taking a break from wearing chokers for a short season. Okay, so yeah. Because in Job, chapter 15, verse 34, God said, for the congregation of hypocrites, which narcissists are hypocrites, for the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery. Ooh! I think God's pretty clear about bribery there. But narcissists use it. But you got to be careful not to fall for that tactic of the devil, trying to bribe you. Yeah, I had to learn too, with one of the hotel things. Yeah, that one trip that I had to take, because it was too, right, I didn't cancel soon enough to get a refund. So I had to go and attend that seminar, but I figured it out before going. That's why I was going to try to get a refund and cancel, but I ended up having to go. Because they would try to sell me a vacation property I don't need. Like timeshare. Yeah. And so what they did, though, when I signed up to become part of the hotel chain to earn points when we go on trips. Nothing wrong with that. Just where's your mindset at? Well, before I knew, they said, oh, there's this vacation company, blah, 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 and you can attend for this to learn a little bit more about this, and this, and for this couple $100, you get like 40,000 points. I was like, oh, sure, sign me up. Yeah, we don't fall for that again. No. No. We will go and we will earn our points. Thank you. So we definitely learn our lesson there. But a narcissist, they will always fall for that bribery. But chosen ones we won't. And so yes, you're right about that too. And so it's only been about 15, 20 minutes or so, and I am debating on whether this is the best spot to remain. So we might end up moving. As I said earlier in the very beginning, that we are in a similar spot. Okay, yes, thank you. We're going to talk about that too, because the spoiled brat syndrome comes from that too. That instant gratification. Yeah, it's an instant gratification. And the retail environment also breeds, goodies on display. Encouraged to spend money unnecessarily. Want it now. Right. Exactly. All of that feeds into narcissism. That instant gratification. Absolutely. All of it does. But for those who are going to catch it on the replay, I explained to y'all, I know exactly what's going on here. We found the bruising in our abdomen, and the heat kept rising. So, but we own it. But yeah, we're going to have to move. And let's see. Maybe not too far. Basically, just to get the sun off of yours truly. So let me see how that does. Maybe just a little bit. Well, you know, it takes a second. Aha. It might take a second. I can handle. Okay, there we go. We didn't have to go too far. There we go. There we go. We didn't have to go too far. I'm going to double check here just a moment. I thank y'all for your patience whenever we do that, because we're trying out new spot at a certain time to see what going to be the best shade. But for those who may be wondering, if you are experiencing anything up in here, whatever, get you some iodine. That's your thyroid acting up. It's your thyroid. Okay? Keep that in mind. But my circumstances, not just that, but I had the bruising in the abdomen that was holding on to salt. And so as I was sit down for a period of time, the heat was rising. And so the Lord has me taking a break from wearing chokers for a time. Short break. Anyhow, but yes, that narcissistic society, it breeds narcissism like that, left and right, because, well, yeah, because of its fallen Babylonian nature. Yes, the world out here, it is the fallen Babylonian world. It's a fallen world. You know, the devil and his fallen angel, when God gave him the boot out of heaven, and that's spiritual. We got to do the same thing. We are the ones who give the narcissist the boot out of our life where possible. Oh, yeah. And we got to You got to pay attention because it becomes more obvious. It really does. Just how spoiled they are. And then you think about all of the things that contribute to narcissism. You know, like you said, the retail business. Absolutely. If you see those people falling, well, yeah, they're falling all over each other for a sale to grab all they can and a cheap TV. Yeah, and that reminds me of certain times of the year where we've seen people, and that spoiled brat syndrome on display right there. I mean, when you witness, or you hear about even, you witness grown adults pulling each other's hair out over a toy for their kid, as if there's 90 other options. But because the narcissistic matrix propped that toy up on a pedestal, it being the most popular, right? It's trending. And so every narcissistic parent, because their kid, yeah, they want their kid to have the most popular, right? What's trending, the best of the best. Because they want their kid to look the best. They want their kid to look good. Because if their kid looks good, then they look good. Remember, narcissists are all about public appearances. All about appearances, right? The devil is all about appearances. So it should come as no surprise that they're going to do that. But that's clearly spoiled brat behavior right there. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. But narcissists do that. They have no respect, really. You know, God says, love thy neighbor as thyself. Well, they certainly don't do that. And as spoiled brats, they will continue to behave that way. I mean, after all, that kind of behavior makes the news media, don't it? It gives them attention. You know, because many people have asked, do they not realize how ridiculous they look when they do that? They don't care. They don't care. They will do whatever they need to do to get that toy for their kid. I witnessed one. The first and last time I ever went on a Black Friday with somebody. I had never been before. And so he had a young son. He invited me to go because there was something, whatever it was trending at the time, that he wanted to get for his son, but also something for himself. I didn't know what narcissism was at the time, but I did find it very odd that a 30-some-year-old man was running into Walmart like a 3-year-old toddler. Literally, he was. I thought, okay, that's really strange. But, yeah, like toddler dancing eyes. We now know what those are. If you see toddler dancing eyes on a grown adult, you got a narcissist. Because that ain't normal. Dancing toddler eyes on a grown adult. Come on now. That's not normal. Seriously. And that lets you know that they're a spoiled brat. If you spot a narcissist, you know automatically that they're a spoiled brat. And that they feel that they're entitled to whatever it is this world offers. And then they also have that entitlement mindset, whereas they think the world owes them. Narcissists, they think the world owes them something. And I do see it. I see it on Quora, where there's people asking how they can earn more money without working too hard. Okay, then. That breeds narcissism right there. They don't want to work hard for anything, but they want to make extra money but they don't want to work hard for it. Well, whatever your definition of working hard is, okay, it is what it is. But we reap what we sow. Like, I am working right now, serving the kingdom of God, delivering this message for you all. This is work. I've got more content coming on the Patreon channel, at the Academy. I'm always working, despite what we're going through, while we heal and recover and all of that, in the physical, you all. We have been healed from the trauma, spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically, mind, body, spirit connection for many years now. It's just, there was an unexpected physical assault, because that's all the devil had left, was to try that. And so that's what we're recovering from in this season. And every day gets better. If y'all hadn't seen yesterday's Every Day Gets Better motivational message, I highly encourage y'all to do so. It was awesome. It was awesome. Well, yeah, it's the demon of impatience. You call it the spirit of impatience. Well, yeah, it is. It's the demon of impatience. Absolutely. Yeah, they don't want to wait for nothing. This is something we have to learn too, chosen one. As we... I got to figure something out here there's got to be a way to make this work, to where I can still see the clock and not have that shining on yours truly. And so we'll try that. We'll try that. Oh, but I didn't want to go all the way back like that. We'll try that. This tree is a big tree, but the way that it looked like a weeping willow, but I don't know exactly what it is. But anyhow, but yeah, that indoctrination of impatience. Y'all, I talked about that quite some time ago when I first started doing videos on this YouTube channel. Because that was one of the first things that God pointed out to me, is that we got to unlearn that indoctrination of impatience. Because in God's reality, we got to have the God-like patience. Things don't move as fast as we once thought they did. The matrix don't move as fast as it wants you to think it does. No. I get that when you order something from Amazon, they have a, well, they have to live up to what they are saying, whatever, I mean, business-wise, but we learn not to expect it, like, right then and there. We also, chosen one, got a little bit of that indoctrination of impatience ourselves that we have to overcome. You know, God tells us through tribulation worketh patience. Well, oh yeah. Oh yeah, you got to learn. When you go through tribulation, like recovering from a physical assault, depending on the severity of it, everything was very minor, but there were a lot of bruises I didn't know about until about a year later. And so you want to talk about that worketh patience? Oh, you better believe it. And I'm grateful for that, though, because what she don't realize is that she gave us so many blessings in disguise with this. Because I get to know my biological body like that. My autonomic nervous system now, I bring it to y'all. Oh my gosh, so many blessings in disguise. I would never have thought about my glutes, okay? My gluteal muscles, I would have never thought about them in the way I am this season. I would never have thought, oh, wow, those do play a huge role in a lot of things, just like our hands. I mean, there's certain things you don't really stop and think about, how these muscles and the nerves are so intimately related. It's amazing. It is, oh my gosh, it is fascinating to learn these things. I'm like, oh, turn a certain way. Oh, that does that. Okay. You know, that kind of thing. Anyhow, so yeah, so many blessings in disguise from that. And so, yeah, as we heal and the lessons that we've learned and continue to learn, I can bring you all this stuff. Oh, and oh my gosh, that Jezebel case study, spoiled brat. Oh yeah, see, that's why we had to put the boundary up. that all coaching and consulting sessions must be booked through the website. There are no workarounds anymore. Because that's what she was doing. Because she did not want, narcissists did not want to see our website rank. You see what I'm saying? They think that we're in competition with them when we're not. They think life is a competition. It's not. That's their entitlement mindset. They're always out there trying to compete for no freaking reason. We can talk more about that another day. But man, there is no competition in God's reality. But inside the matrix, competition galore. Like everybody trying to compete with each other. When I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm looking at two stores side by side that would be seen as competitors. But what we learned down the rabbit hole is, nah, they're not competitors. They're all under the same umbrella. Just like social media. All these social media platforms, there's that narrative going around on TikTok telling everybody to block Facebook and Instagram. And I'm like, why? Why? They're all under the same umbrella. Hello. Ding, 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 ding. Newsflash. I don't know. People, listen, the game of narcissism out there, I tell you. But yeah, spoiled brat syndrome. And so, well, that's the thing. Narcissists, they're spoiled. And so they don't care. And they are only about themselves. Now, there's one thing about us chosen ones. Self-care is mandatory in God's reality, okay? It is mandatory in God's reality. And that's exactly what we're doing. Top tier self-care. But, yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. A spoiled brat narcissist could do that. They could be buying something, claim to be buying it for their kid, but they're really buying it for themselves. That's the other thing. Yep. And then and they think it's all for them. Well, because they take things personally. They think everything is about them. When most things in this world are not. And okay, control the bone under movement. They can lift and carry, but it's not their main design. If you're talking about the glutes, I know what you mean. Right. Right, exactly. And then we were talking about how the competition for narcissists who are spoiled brat narcissists, actually stimulates the market for everyone. The competitors ringing the dinner bell attracts people to their competitors as well. In a lot of ways, that's why I said they're all under the same umbrella. You know, all these stores we see out here and things like that, like you have Target, you have Walmart, you have, you know, other stores, and then you have all your discount stores, or so-called discount stores. You have your Family Dollars, your Dollar Generals, you know, all of that. They're all under the same umbrella, you see. So, well, yeah. And they'll present themselves as being in competition with one another when they're really not. That's the reality. They're really not. But narcissists don't know that. And so narcissists think that it's so competitive. I remember hearing that. Yeah, I remember hearing that a lot from narcissists. Oh, it's a competitive world out there. There's a lot of competition in the world. For what? Competition for what? Because chosen ones, we learned that there is no competition in God's reality. There is no competition in the kingdom of God. It is us versus us. That's it. There is no competition. That's an illusion. It's another illusion. But narcissists will continue to fall for that. Because that's their thing. Chosen ones, we don't. And then, well, that's where, if you're talking about sport, the competition in sports, well, that's just for entertainment. That's supposed to be for entertainment. But it definitely breeds the competitive spirit. God is not a competitive spirit. God's like, Because he ain't got to compete. Y'all gotta understand that. God don't have to compete with nothing and no one. God is the Almighty. He doesn't need to. He knows. Beginning to end, he is the beginning and the end. And everything in between. Yeah, there you go. And Jesus overcame the world already. So it's like, okay. Well, that's the other thing. Thank you, Chris. That's why I was saying these stores and stuff, there's no competition. They're under the same umbrella, because if you go to a retail park and you'll see other stores that you might be interested in checking out. Absolutely. You don't see, or at least I don't. I have not seen this. Y'all might. I don't know. If y'all have seen this happen, drop it in the comments below, even on the replay, and I'll stand corrected. But I have yet to see anybody outside one of these stores begging people to come in. I'm not talking about when there's a person out there with that sign, that there's a big sale or store closing 40% off. I'm not talking about that to lure people in. I'm talking about someone literally outside a store, okay, begging people, please come in. Now, you want to come into this store, don't go into that one, because, I'm saying, you don't see that. I have yet to see anything like that. And I don't think you will, because it's not professional. Yeah, it's not. So, like, the store's up. It's got merchandise. Let it speak for itself. Right, tried to stuff folks into their store. I know, right? I was like, we've never, no. We don't see that. At least not yet, as of this recording. Not seeing anything like that. I mean, you see the sales and the flash sales and stuff, but that's all part of marketing. That's all part of marketing, and nothing wrong with that. But we don't see somebody, an employee, standing outside trying to pull people into the store and giving them a reason why they should come in there and not go to their competitor. I mean, God gives us free will. So, chosen ones, glory be to God that we do not become spoiled brats, because it's just not. That's not right. You don't want that kind of mindset. Going around thinking that you deserve this and deserve that just because of a position, status, or title. That. Quite frankly, not only is that arrogant, but that's rude. That is rude. That is not humane. That is just not humane. So I tell y'all, the more that we dissect this and we see where it's coming from, and we understand that the narcissistic matrix breeds this stuff. I mean, narcissism breeds that spoiled brat syndrome, because that's what it is. And boy, I tell you, have one of those fear-mongering narratives go around out there, and that's when you really start to see people's true colors in public. Because we all started about 4 or 5 years ago. We started to see some, like, yes. People would buy. It's the buyer's choice whether or not to buy. Absolutely. You can't talk someone into buying despite what the sales psychology will tell you. It depends. It depends. But that's true. If you are sane and you do not have the demon of impulsivity, that's true. But if you are a narcissist and you are operating on impulse, there's what the devil wants. Is for them to be out there buying on impulse, to make impulsive decisions, that impulse buy. And that often stems from living in fear. Absolutely. Stems from living in fear. Is that impulse buy. Because we've seen narcissists do it. And one of them did because of a retirement status. Went and bought a brand new vehicle. Brand new vehicle. He had those toddler dancing eyes, too. And the word deserve was mentioned. I was like, okay. And then not even a year later, after maybe taking it on like one trip and then barely driving it anywhere, they had to sell it back to the dealership because they bought it on impulse. He felt he deserved it because he made it to retirement. See that position, status, and title, right? Yeah. And then there's a lot of organizations that breed narcissism by telling them that if they sign up and become this or that or the other, then they'll have these kinds of benefits for the rest of their lives because they deserve them because of their position, status, or title. So, of course, they become spoiled brats. Of course, it's only natural they're going to become spoiled brats. Without it, I mean, really? Absolutely. And so you got to keep that in mind as well. Absolutely. And we all had to learn to not buy on impulse at some point in our life. Yeah. Okay. You learned your lesson. You learned your lesson. Yep, you learned your lesson. And that's okay. We all do. We all have to learn lessons in life. That's what it's all about. Focus on the lessons, though. But there is a lot of that happens. And that's what the devil and the matrix relies on, is they want you to buy on impulse. They want you to be running on adrenaline. Well, you're going to run on adrenaline if you're living in fear. And that's what the narcissist, the spoiled brat, that's what they do. They live in fear. So they're running on their adrenaline, which leads to them making impulsive decisions and impulse buys. That's what the devil relies on. Oh, yeah. That's how he stays in people's finances all the time. Well, I don't know if I would call it a lucky escape. That was God. That was God guiding your steps to correct a mistake. Exactly. Exactly. And so we do that. The chosen one, once we are able to, hold on a second. Yes, step back and think for a moment. Make the right decision for ourselves. We're not living in fear. We're not living in a fever-induced state where we have our clarity. We can figure out how we can manage our finances better. We all have to learn that. And so we figure things out when we have the time and the space to do so. See, narcissists know this. That's why they try to come at you with all this overwhelming stuff. Try to distract you. Try to keep you from being able to do that. To sit down and think rationally. Because they know if we have the opportunity to do that, that we're not going to make an impulsive decision. And that the devil will likely get a hold of our finances in some way. Yep, if you do get the impulse by failing to sleep on it before, there you go, you take the time. This is what we learn in life, chosen one. If we do feel the impulse, I'm right there with you. Like, I'll be like, all right, I have a couple of items I really would like to go and get. That would be great to have, like, right now. However, stop, hold on a minute. I ain't going nowhere today. Or, I'm just going to do this, but it's not an emergency. You know? Because there are no emergencies in God's reality. So we stop and we think for a moment. Hold on a minute. Some workout items. Okay, but that can wait. That can wait. I don't have to get it right this minute. Whereas a spoiled brat narcissist would think the opposite. And just go out and get it anyway. And me, I'm like, it doesn't have to be right this minute. It's on a wish list. That's that. We leave it there until the time is right. Exactly. If it's not like an urgent priority, you know what I'm saying? If it's the real, remember, y'all, God's urgency is different than what the devil's urgency and impulse would be. God's urgency teaches us it can wait. God will put it on our spirit, and we'll be like, okay, but it can wait a couple days, or it can wait until the time is right. But he gives us that vision, but it's not necessarily an emergency. You know, urgent and emergency, two different things. God's urgency is still calm. It's like you'll get to it, you'll get it done, but it doesn't have to be overnight. It's not going to be overnight. It don't need to be. Whereas the narcissist, because they're spoiled and they want that instant gratification, they're not going to wait. They got that impatience. And so we got to learn how to be patient and be like, yo, okay, don't have to run right out and get it right this second. And there you go. Wait a few weeks to see if you even still want it or need it, really. I think that should be the top question, y'all. Here's, a little bit more of the and more here. We're gonna end on this note because it's a really good one to end on here. A little bit of coaching. I think that for us, we need to purge from our subconscious thinking that, I know the Lord is our shepherd and we shall not want. But I believe we need to purge the word want out of our vocabulary when it comes to the importance of assessing what we need. You got to be able to tell the difference. Is that a want or is it a need? If it pops up as a want, then we need to then dissect it just a little bit further. All right, so we want that. Now, does it fit as a need? Is it going to serve in the kingdom of God at any capacity? So, for example, we were able to eliminate StreamYard, what we were using, only because, like I said previously, their price went up and out of our budget. It's that simple. Okay? Their price went up and out of our budget. So, even though it was a want, and then maybe a need in the sense of convenience, it wasn't a need in the sense of exactly. Okay? It wasn't something that I had to have because if I didn't have it, it wasn't something that I had to have or else. It wasn't something that it was a convenience. And it just allowed us to do a little bit more. However, we figured out, like, you catch that Motivational Monday message, we figured out how to go faceless without using StreamYard. It's really simple. So, okay, you can actually look StreamYard up yourself. And they did, and there were a couple of different plans, but I wasn't going to downgrade either. I was not going to downgrade. I'm done. I'm done. I don't need it. I hadn't been using it anyway for several weeks, almost a month or so. So it was not a big deal. But I'm just using that as an example. Okay, nothing wrong with them or anything like that. It's just their price went up and out of budget. So we have to do what we have to do. And I highly encourage y'all, seriously, take the time. Don't listen to the negative narratives about courses. People are enrolling in courses. Absolutely. You check out CHA Academy, btbw.com. People are still enrolling in courses. Because I did the research. I looked at our hosting site for CHA Academy. There's several instructors and content creators that are apparently doing very well. So, yeah, we're not giving up. We're not giving up. Y'all check out CHA Academy, btbw.com. And those of you who join us over there, yeah, you're going to see. It's just another area. Just another area where this growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ convenes. And a lot of value goes in there because I bring y'all not just God's wisdom, but basic scientific facts, tried and true techniques, and more at CHA Academy, btbw.com. And there's a couple of master classes that you have access to, even if you just become a member. You have access to the master classes at absolutely no additional cost. Enroll in a course, get access to the community, and to additional master classes at no additional cost. Okay? But people are still enrolling in courses to learn new things. Chosen one's got to learn new things. That's it. We have to purge that subconscious. What are you going to do after that, right? What are you going to do? So I highly encourage y'all to check it out. When you go to listen, you can Chris, all y'all, anybody interested, you can do the research on StreamYard yourself, okay? I don't know. They don't, no, nothing wrong with them. It's just, it's a streaming software, but they're not the only one out there, okay? Y'all can do the research. I can't answer all those questions. I don't know, okay? I really don't. So do yourself a favor and research it on your own time. All I know is that they are, they're always upgrading too, just like the rest of social media and the digital world. But when you go to CHA Academy, btbw.com, okay, to see everything that we have there, you can click on all courses from the top, bottom, or the navigation drop-down menu. And I'm very aware of the enemy and the attempts at distracting us. It's not working because we're wrapping this episode up anyhow. You know how people like to photobomb? Well, they also like to video bomb, especially if they know you were over here doing a video. Like they can clearly see. But what's the title of this one? There you go. All right, y'all. So there you go. Yep. All right, keep the brain cells occupied at CHA Academy, btbw.com. That's right. That's right. There you go. CHA Academy, btbw.com. Check it out, check it out, check it out. All right, we got more coming every week. Fun fact videos and short Bible studies every week. And then additional thing, word of the week when we have it. Then when we have some funnies to share. Other thing, we have CHA's book club. Oh yeah, got a space for that and a space for each course where we can discuss the course further if you have additional questions, what have you. It's all about iron sharpening iron in this growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ. At Consulting for Heightened Awareness, CHA. Sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching, listening, and for your continued support. Till next time, let's show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father. And you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen.